Welcome to the free course, Introduction to Business Architecture Foundation Learning Track. This quick course is aimed to introduce you to the role of the business architect and provide a sneak peek into the Leust Business Architecture Framework you will learn at the beginning of this track. Our goal is to create an integrated curriculum of courses organized within each of the architectural disciplines. Each track of courses provides proven frameworks, methods, tools, best practices, and real examples. Even more importantly, our content provides step-by-step instructions on how to do the work. Every course you complete has a certification of completion and access to professional development credits. This leads to our certification program within each of the various architectural disciplines. Our integrated curriculum provides leaders with the expertise to envision the future and make it real. We provide the methods, tools, and practical knowledge to designers and facilitators of change to make an immediate difference. And finally, we provide tools and perspectives for those who are directly impacted by the change so that they don't just survive the change, but thrive in an ever-changing environment. Section 1. The Field of Business Architecture. The role of a business architect is to translate strategy into business outcomes while designing and monitoring business transformation. This can occur at the enterprise level. It can also occur at a functional, a departmental, or a business unit level. Research into business and digital transformation consistently points to higher levels of success when a business architect is part of the team. There are several key competencies which, when working together, enable a business architect to be very effective. The first is advisory services, in which a business architect governs his or her own work and also provides advisory services to the executives and business leaders. A business architect plays a vital role by being behind the scenes, helping work with leaders to make sure that they are, in fact, aligned and moving in the same direction. The second is the ability to create capability definitions. The goal is to find the core business capabilities as well as both the strategic and support capabilities that are required to work together to achieve your strategic intent. 3. Next is collaboration. A business architect works across the enterprise involved with business, technology, data, finance, product management, and human resources, just about all key stakeholders in the organization, to ensure that all the points of view are taken into consideration as we build our blueprint for success. 4. After collaboration is the ability to provide strategic planning and oversee the end-to-end development, design, and implementation of long and mid-year business strategies. By creating a roadmap for the direction of the organization, leadership can work together to achieve the strategic objectives. 5. Finally, the business architect then works to create the execution strategy and advises on how to develop and deploy programs and projects in a portfolio of initiatives to achieve the strategic objectives. The business architect bridges the traditional divide between business planning and strategy execution. When we think about business planning, this is typically the realm of strategy, the leadership role, and the strategy execution is typically the role of operation managers. A business architect is able to bridge those two different worlds and make sure that a solid strategy and the capabilities have been defined to execute it. Business architects iterate constantly, recognizing that both internal and external conditions will change. As a result, business architects need to ensure that both the strategy and business continue to evolve, so that the business is executing in accordance with strategic objectives. Given that the business architect is responsible for helping facilitate transformation across the organization, this role is in fact an agent of change. As business architects, we embrace change to ensure the organization is well ahead of its competition. We do this by understanding the nature of change and how it creates strategic opportunities and allows us to create differentiation in the market. We align leadership around the critical capabilities that need to achieve strategic objectives. We also identify where gaps are and how to close those gaps. Next, we collaborate in building an investment roadmap to drive strategic objectives. That investment roadmap, in fact, starts with the capability gaps and clearly puts forth a path to how to close those gaps using a blend of people, processes, and technology to achieve that. We also oversee the execution of the investments to ensure the outcomes are achieved. It is a very different role than the EPMO, or the Enterprise Program Management Office, whose role it is to make sure that the day-to-day activities for each project or initiative are underway. As business architects, we play a slightly different role in ensuring that as those different projects and initiatives execute, they continue to be aligned with the strategic objectives and achieve the results that we intend. It becomes interesting over time that as objectives shift, we need to constantly go back to review the investment roadmap and make sure that those investments continue to address the new objectives. Section 2. The Architectural Ecosystem. All organizations plan for their future by defining their vision, strategy, and the objectives that they seek to achieve. It is the role of senior leadership to articulate what this future will look like and how the organization will be positioned uniquely and differentially in the market while delivering on customer expectations. The vision and strategy execution are extremely complex in most companies, requiring specialized skills in transformation architecture, business architecture, process architecture, technology architecture, experience architecture, and organization architecture. Together, these architectures form the architectural ecosystem. The organization, business, process, technology, and experience architects must now have the skills needed to effectively collaborate in creating a map or plan towards the future, while the business and operations teams execute the plans and deliver the strategic objectives. Of course, all the parts of a transforming business must coexist with the daily operation of the company as it transforms, making this needed move even more complex and requiring new skills and an understanding of transformation, not just the type of change most companies are used to. There are 6 distinct architectural roles found in most organizations. Each of these roles are unique, yet interrelated to provide the definition, design, and execution plan to achieve your business strategy, and ultimately, your business transformation. These architects focus on what the organization needs to demonstrate excellence in, and how those critical elements must be executed to achieve its strategic objective. They include the transformation architect, who designs and executes continuous transformation of the business. The business architect, who designs and monitors business transformation, ensuring that there is a differentiated strategy, clear objectives, and an understanding of the capabilities required to deliver on the strategic agenda. The process architect, who designs and implements business processes to create efficient and effective work processes. The technology architect, who designs and implements technology change which enables a cost-effective delivery of business and customer operations. The organization architect, who designs and implements organization change, which includes the organizational structure, work culture, governance, change management, and strategy to hire and develop employees. The experience architect, who designs and implements user experience, which includes the customer, employee, and all partners of the organization. All of these architects strive for innovation and work together to bring multiple viewpoints into business operation design to create a stronger operation. One of the 6 unique yet interrelated types of architects is the business architect. This architect is responsible for translating strategic vision and goals into an operating model and an organization model that can be used as a guide in redesigning the business operation. The business architect focuses on aligning leadership around the business strategy and the capabilities and operating model that are needed to achieve desired business results. This is an ongoing process that constantly monitors changes in external market, competition, and customers, as well as progress in implementing the changes needed to enable business transformation. This role is critical in helping leaders to look ahead at the business needs in the evolving operation and make certain that both business transformation and IT digital transformation produce an operating environment capable of rapid change. The vast majority of organizations can define their key aspects on a common business canvas. This includes 1. Strategy definition. The overall strategy, business model, and the capabilities necessary to execute the strategy. 2. Product or service definition. The unique product or services outlined in the business strategy that offer a differentiated customer experience. 3. Operating model. The organized structure and management of the organization. 4. Process excellence. The processes needed to deliver on the customer and stakeholder commitment. 5. Technology enablement. The leveraging of technology to enable differentiation and operational excellence among your competitors. We can then map each of the architects and the role they play in supporting different aspects of the organization and how they need to work together to execute change. For example, business, experience, and technology architects all support the definition of the business strategy, while all 5 disciplines are required to implement the operating model. The curriculum from My Career Transformation provides specific, relevant, and practical learnings for each architectural discipline and how they work together. Designing, planning, and executing a portfolio of projects, let alone a comprehensive business transformation, is challenging. We recognize that over 70% of project and transformation efforts fail to meet expectations. This can result in frustrated customers who take their business to the competition, disillusioned employees who quit, and disappointed board of directors who put additional pressure on the executive team. These issues are greatly minimized through the collaboration of the architects who design, plan, implement change, and orchestrate the continuous transformation of the business. However, too often today, each architectural discipline works independently with conflicting messages and expectations. We recognize this gap and created professional computer-based training to improve not only how each discipline works, but how they need to work together. Section 3. Business Architecture Framework. An example framework that establishes a holistic view of an entire organization is described in the Leust Business Architecture Framework. This framework will be used as a reference tool for the other courses in the Business Architecture Foundations learning track. A new section of the framework will be covered in each consecutive course. The framework provides a blueprint to create alignment and focus across the entire organization, creating a bridge between business planning and strategy execution. The framework starts with strategy, which is composed of value differentiation, strategic objectives, and customer experience. With the gross to value differentiation, we think about red versus blue ocean, and in fact, how and where we need to compete so that we can be very successful within our select market space. Strategic objectives are clear and quantifiable. They help us understand when we've achieved our strategy. And finally, the customer experience defines the differentiated way that we provide value and service to our customers. With a well-defined strategy, we then determine what capabilities need to be in place to deliver on that strategy. The capabilities describe what we need to achieve our strategic objectives. Once we define our capabilities, we determine to what degree we have a gap between what we do today versus what we need to be able to deliver in the future to achieve those strategic objectives. The next portion of the model speaks to the organizational framework, which describes how and where the organization is going to operate. For example, is manufacturing going to be done in Asia, customer support in Europe, and perhaps R&D in San Francisco? It's the footprint of the business. The processes define what needs to get done and how it will be achieved. The technology then supports the business processes and seeks to automate them as effectively and efficiently as possible to ensure consistency of delivery of our business processes. Once the process and technology are defined, we need to make sure that we structure our people into meaningful ways that eliminate boundaries that are typically found in silos, or the confusion that is often found in matrices, so that we can unleash the talent that we're investing in. Then there are the end caps of the model. The first speaks to leadership alignment and execution. This ensures that leaders have the adaptive skills required to create alignment and ensure that execution is being followed through on. Finally, there are the metrics used to oversee the business. This includes dashboards, scorecards, technology efficiency, people performance, and of course, the delivery of your strategic objectives. Using this framework, a business architect orchestrates each of the elements to ensure that the leadership is aligned, it differentiates strategies in place, the core capabilities are identified, the investment plans are put in place to close gaps, and the organization is executing the business plan to achieve our results. We will explore this framework in greater detail in the next course. Section 4. Learning Roadmap. Building transformation capacity is a competitive advantage for every organization. The ability to anticipate, plan, and execute transformation while change continues to accelerate will help ensure that your organization not only survives, but thrives. To help you achieve this ability, our courses are designed for the following audiences. There are those who determine the future of the organization and lead the change. Next, there are those who design, plan, and execute change and transformation. Finally, there are those who are impacted by change. We call them targets of change. Those who lead change include board of directors, executive teams, transformation leaders, leadership teams, and the managers of people. The designers and facilitators of change include business architects, process architects, technology architects, organization architects, experience architects, project managers, and consultants who are often hired for expertise and/or to augment staff during the change process. Finally, there are targets of change who include employees, customers, vendors, suppliers, alliance partners. Any training is only as good as the experience and expertise of the people who write the courses. Our authors have over 30 years of practical experience in managing business operations, leading change and transformation, and being held accountable for results. In addition, our authors excel in multiple architectural disciplines, allowing them to both create courses on specific topics and skills, while also connecting seamlessly into the overall curriculum. For more information on our course creators, see the authors page on our website. Thank you for participating in the free Business Architecture Foundation course and in the Business Architect Learning Track. As you look forward, you'll see there are additional courses which will continue to build your understanding of business architecture and provide very clear methodologies, tools, and templates which you can use in your practice. We invite you to continue learning with the next full-length course in the Business Architecture Foundation track titled, What You Need to Know About Business Architecture. This course will provide the foundation for the business architecture profession and the role it plays in linking business planning with strategy execution. We look forward to your participation in the next course.